Have you ever been playing Fire Emblem and then suddenly came to the realization of, wow, I flippin' suck at this game? Well, I haven't, since I'm just naturally built different. But if you do perchance happen to suck at video games and suffer from a very severe case of skill issue, I may not have a remedy or a cure, but I do have the perfect game for you. Fire Emblem 8 is yet another GBA Fire Emblem game, meaning its gameplay is simple and its mechanics are few. This bare bones game design would obviously become stale if left unchanged for 3 games in a row. So the developers of this game had exactly one singular brainwave and went, wait, what if we just make Giden again? For those of you who don't know, Fire Emblem Giden is the second entry in the Fire Emblem series, and is commonly known as the black sheep of the franchise. It essentially added tons of new ideas and mechanics that were never revisited due to one of 2 reasons. Reason number 1. The mechanics were annoying and unfun to play with, and would require heavy amounts of fine-tuning if they were ever to return. Or reason number 2. The game developers were racist. But not every idea introduced in Giden was particularly bad or racially motivated, and Sacred Stones is a testament to this fact. For one, villagers return in the form of trainee units. Trainee units are characters with bad stats and gameplay that have the potential to become worthwhile, but only after sufficient investment gets put into leveling them. And what makes these otherwise generic bad units fun to use is this game's branched promotion path system. Unlike the average Asian child turning 18, characters in this game will often have choices in the promotion paths, and some of these choices are actually pretty interesting when you get into them. For example, some classes will attempt to compensate for their lower movement with better stats, whereas others will try and make up for being locked to only one singular weapon type with skills that are class specific. And these skills are only viewable if you go out of your way to check for them in the unit stat screen. The fact that these skills are few and far between means that the gameplay can stay relatively straightforward, and it lets the Sacred Stones keep its simplistic charm that the GBA Fire Emblem games are known and loved for having. But this game didn't just rob the villagers from Giden, but they also stole the idea of having 2 different main characters in just one singular game. Groundbreaking stuff, I know. Sacred Stones essentially has 2 different routes with their own unique maps and dialogue. There's Erika's route, which is relatively easy and beginner friendly for people new to the franchise, and then there's Ephraim's route, which is the harder of the 2, and gives a better understanding of the main villain of the story. I'd highly recommend playing through both of these routes at least once so that you can fully experience this game's narrative. And now, before I address the elephant in the room, I should probably mention that this game's animations look pretty damn fluid. And yes, the GBA Fire Emblem games are known for having fans who treat these animations like holy gospel despite never having opened up a Bible themselves, but trust me, this game has some nice animations. And the art style and colour scheme of this game is also on point. The darker yet more saturated colour palette really complements this game's story and art direction. I wouldn't waste my time mentioning these things if I didn't think they were impressive, but I know a good amount of you actually don't care about a game's presentation and just turn off animations, so I'll just move on to the Achilles heel of Sacred Stones. And that is the game's difficulty. Fire Emblem 8 is known as one of the easiest Fire Emblem games to date, which makes sense. This was the second Fire Emblem game to be released overseas, and seeing as intelligent systems are a bunch of violent racists, it's no wonder they felt compelled to treat us non-Japs as if we're toddlers. Now, in the event that you actually find yourself scratching your head and thinking, wait, what's he talking about? I struggle with this game. Well, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but your mother may have had a drinking problem somewhere around 16 to 30 years ago. Now, despite me insulting my audience and then being surprised when they unsubscribe, a low difficulty does wonders for newcomers, and it's important to remember that not everyone is as much of an elitist epic Fire Emblem gamer as you. However, this game being easy has the opposite effect on veterans of the franchise. Due to the non-existent nature of this game's difficulty, it becomes pretty damn boring for a supposed tough-as-nails strategy game. Oh yeah, there's also Creature Campaign, which is essentially this game's post-game where you fight monsters for like 3 hours in a row, but without the ability to save between floors. This is a feature that exists, I guess. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to have something to do after the credits roll, but I'm willing to bet my copy of the Sun crossword puzzle on Nintendo DS that literally no one has ever beaten Sacred Stones and immediately went, I wish there was a convenient way for me to fight nameless monsters non-stop for 10 hours in a row. But regardless of my opinion on this feature, I guess it's something that's semi-unique that this game brought to the table. So I guess it's best that we acknowledged its existence for just a second. Okay, you acknowledged it? Good. We can end this video here then. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.